but that's okay. Okay. Well, anyway, it is September the 2nd, guys. Here we go. You know, the next 90 days is what we've got before everybody starts to shut down for Thanksgiving, starts to shut down for Christmas and everything. And, you know, I wanted to go through tonight, you know, something that I've been talking about for a long time, and it's duplication, right? And, you know, I don't like to leave anything for chance, right? If you leave it for chance, then more than likely it's not going to work, or it's not going to work the way you want it to work. So we're going to do some things that will make sure that everything, you know, if you think about duplication, I mean, I don't know what you think about when you say the word duplication, but I certainly think about, you know, fast food franchises, you know, or franchising now in general, right? That has taken over the world in almost every industry that there is. And they've done that because it's duplicate, you know, no matter if you're in Hawaii or you're in Boston or you're in St. Thomas, hamburgers are all the same, right? And the buildings are all the same. And I mean, just everything is the same. So, you know, being familiar. And so what we're going to do as we move forward is make sure that we've got everything, everything the way that we want it. And when I say the way that we want it, I want everybody to understand that, you know, you're certainly going to have some individuality in doing everything, but, you know, we want to make sure that you only have one shot to make a good first impression, right? So, you know, that's why duplication is so important. But I said, you know, what do you think about, you know, the word, when you hear the word duplication, what do you think about? What's the first thing that comes to mind? You know, is it the copy machine? Is it, you know, duplicating originals, right? Or is it the franchise model, duplicating their cookie cutter system, you know, practically in every industry? And so what is it that you think about? I'll tell you what I think about. I think about network marketing, right? Because duplication is the key, is the ingredient, and those companies that learn how to duplicate themselves grow very rapidly, right? So it's all about duplication. And if you have duplication in your organization, everybody wins, right? So we're going to make sure that we have duplication. People can't be duplicated. I can't, Rick can't, you can't. I mean, we all have talents, right? We all have talents. And, you know, I've got 30 years of experience in network marketing. Rick's got 30 years of experience in network marketing. And, you know, hard to duplicate that unless you've just been there and done that. So, you know, one of the things that I talk about is that, you know, you've got talents I don't have, but together as a team, we've got lots of different talents, right? And a team all going in the same direction with the same message, you know, with the same look, the same feel, with everything, all the same vision is really unstoppable. So, you know, we're going to start to put together, we've started putting it together, but we're going to finalize it. And that is, you know, what this duplication process really looks like. You know, everything you do should be duplicatable. And what do I mean by that? I mean, you're teaching your new future leader from the first time you make the first contact. No, you know, that's what they're going to remember. So, you know, and I say, why is that important? Well, if you get John on the phone and you wear his ass out for 2 hours talking about everything you know about Valentis, you know what John's going to do? He's going to run and hide, right? He already knows that he can't do what you just did. So he doesn't have 2 hours to talk to somebody. So it's time to sharpen our sword, right? We've got to get this thing down to a science. And, you know, the first contact, you can talk about money or product, or it could be both. But you know, and there's millions of ways to present this. But hey, Dave, this is Chuck. A buddy I know sent me a video about a 4-year-old company called Valentis. Ever heard of them? No. Well, me neither. Well, they just introduced a weight loss coffee that's getting amazing results. Dave, you drink coffee, don't you? Yeah. Okay, good. I thought so. Hey, you know what? I'd like to, you'd also like to lose some weight, right? Yeah. Well, you know, he told me there was plenty of money to be made, and that's what excited me. So I became a distributor and purchased some coffee inventory so I can send my friends some samples. I'll send you the video that he just sent me. Fill out the form with your name, your email, your phone, and take a look at everything. I'll drop some coffee off, thinking that he's in the neighborhood, so you can try it in the morning. Okay, buddy, see you later. You know, that's as simple as that conversation is. And, you know, we've just got to pique a person's interest when we're starting to make those initial contacts. And then, you know, we've all seen this before, right? Keep it simple, stupid. A lot of people have now dropped the term stupid for some other more pro-correct terminology, but I still use stupid. You know, keep your conversation short and to the point. You know, there's certain things that you want to remember when you're introducing Valentis to the people that you know, right? And like I said, there's a million different ways to create the conversation based on your relationship with the person that you're going to be calling. So, you know, but there are critical key points that you need to make sure you have in the conversation. One of them is excitement, right? People, if you're calling somebody and you're excited, they go, what in the hell are they excited about? You know, I mean, they all of a sudden, you know, they haven't seen you excited forever. And then all of a sudden you're now excited. You know, something must be going on, right? And hey, I found an amazing product and I just had to call you. I'm running out the door, but I wanted to make sure that I called you and told you about it. I'm going to get back to you. And just anything to, again, start to pique a person's interest. We're a 4-year-old stable company. You know, I never hesitate to mention that we're a 4-year-old stable company. And if you watch that video today, I talked about startup, right? I didn't lay into it too heavily, but I talked about startups scare me, right? You know, and what I'm talking about is a weight loss coffee, all natural dark roast coffee. I mean, it's just an amazing, amazing coffee. All you got to do is switch brands, and it's getting fantastic results, and it tastes great. You know, I always plant the seed that it tastes great, right? Now, you know, at one time I was saying, well, it doesn't taste as good as my original fresh ground, you know, fresh brewed. I stopped all that stuff, right? Now it just tastes great. You know, I anticipate having my morning 2 cups of coffee. So, you know, it tastes great. It tastes as great as anything I've ever tasted in my life. So I want them to have that thought in their mind when they get that, because so that they're not, you know, hesitant, right? You know, they're using a referral type system, friends telling friends, and they're paying commissions instead of buying advertising. People can relate to that. I leave all the conversation about the typical network marketing buzzwords on the table. I don't even go there at all with any of my friends, right? Unless they happen to be in network marketing, and then they know. So, you know, what I'm going to do is pre-enroll you, and I'm going to send you a form to fill out so you can take the free tour. You know, they got to get into the system. They've got to get into the system. Why? Because they'll get the drip email campaigns. They'll be notified of the calls that are taking place. They'll be notified every time a person goes down underneath them, and they'll be notified every time a purchase happens. So, you know, they'll be notified and notified and notified and notified. So, you know, this last little piece, I'm sure you can read it. I can't read it, my things, but I know what I wrote. You know, don't try to oversell it, right? Don't impress the people with all your knowledge, because they really don't care. You they only care about one thing. What's in it for me? What's in it for me? So stay on point, right? So we're going to take, there's certain components, and Rick today put together a nice package of mailing out samples. Hopefully he'll bring that up here shortly. But, there's certain things, emails that need to be sent to your friend, your prospect, the person you're sending that package to. One of it is how to drink Slim Roast, right? Whether you email it to them, whether you put another one in the package, I would probably say both, right? Because they're going to get the package, they're going to open it up, they're going to look at it and say, oh, okay, I see I can't eat my pancakes while I drink my coffee. So I think I'll have my coffee first. Then they'll see 90 minutes. By that time, they won't have an appetite for pancakes, and they'll skip breakfast, right? So so we're going to put all this together. And again, your story, right? Your story is so important. And so make sure that you add that in. And, I want them to watch the video. This is a little YouTube video off the Slim Roast Optimum landing page website. But I want them to watch that video. I want them to, certainly understand the concept. Follow up. I mean, you're going to hear me talking about this forever. Most of you guys are going to get sick and tired of it. But, the art of the follow-up, it's sorting, not selling, right? So, it's really an art form, something that I do after 30 years without even thinking about the steps or the motions. So I've had to slow down and start to take copious notes as to what I do so I could put it in some kind of sequence and start to put together a package that everybody can duplicate. Because I just say, well, just to follow up. Well, just saying follow up isn't good enough because, but I send emails, I make phone calls, I send text messages, I use Facebook Messenger. I communicate often, frequently, probably more often than I should. But, I just want them to know that I'm excited and I'm in tune. Informational follow-up, again, gives me another reason. All I look for every day is a reason to communicate with all the people that I have in the database, right? And anything that's happening or that's about to happen, I send that information to everybody, right? That's in my follow-up file. And, what we'll teach you to do is take all of these emails in a sequential order and create a Valentis file, and then you can go right to it. You can customize them, and we're going to give you the language, but, certainly feel free to go in and customize it. You guys don't talk like I do, thank God. And, and I don't talk like you do. And, we all have our own way of communicating. So, you got to make it your own, right? I'm looking for people that express an interest, that want to know more, right? I listen to what they have to say. And that's why, I kind of threw that last part in there. That's why you've got two ears and one mouth, right? Listen twice as much as you talk. So, people will tell you all kinds of things, but if you're too busy talking and trying to impress them with all the things that you know about Valentis, they don't care. And they'd much rather have you listen to what they're saying about them, because what's the most important subject? Them, right? They're the most important subject. So, and with all that information, you're going to get lots of little things that you can pick up. I hate my job. I'm not making enough money. I hate my boss. I have a heart attack every Monday morning because I hate going to work. No, but, I guess that's why there's more heart attacks on Monday morning than any time of the week. People would rather die than to go to work. But anyway, ABC, right? Always be closing. Always be closing. Now, we say that we're not selling, and we are sorting, but we are selling. let's not really, try to camouflage this any. We're selling a business opportunity. We're selling, the lifestyle, right? We're selling. So, the question I always ask, are you ready to get started, right? Are you ready to get started? Well, Dave, you've lost 9 pounds the first week. The product works. You've been on a couple of the calls and I've introduced you to the team that I'm working with, right? Are you ready to get started? Now, here's the critical part. When you ask that question, you've got to do something that most people can't do, and that is to wait for an answer. Wait for an answer. Don't say a word, no matter how long that takes. Silence is deafening, right? So no matter what, wait for a response and just sit there and twiddle your thumbs. If they say, no, I really don't know, it's always about the money. It's always about the money. No matter what they say, it's always about the money. And I've got some great, things that I say. Well, if it were free and you could get started for free, would you get started today? Well, of course I'd get started today. Okay, well, we know it's about the money then, right? So it's always about the money. You love the coffee, you see the potential. Is it the $500? Is it the $500? Silence, right? Is it the $500? Yeah, it's the $500. I just spent money on my car. I just did this. I just did that. And, but there's always a way around that. The 3 questions. And again, we're going to get, everybody's going to get very familiar. When we say the 3 questions, we know exactly what we're talking about, right? The phone call that you're going to make when your sample pack arrives, no later than the day after, but certainly it would be preferred that you make that phone call the day that that package arrives so that you time it right. Because, when I called you about the Slim Roast Optimum, I asked you 3 questions, Dave. Remember that? Yeah, I remember. Do you drink coffee? Would you like to lose some weight? Would you be interested in learning how to make money by referring your friends to a great product? And you said yes and yes and yes. So I sent you a free sample of Slim Roast for you to try. My objective is to make you one of my Slim Roast Optimum customers, or better yet, be part of the Valentis team. I'm already starting to feed that. I want them as a customer. Gonna tell them. I'd rather have them as a team member. And I know you've been getting emails from Valentis. Have you checked out the back office? That after I put you in the system, most people say no, right? Have you listened to any of those calls? No, I haven't, right? Hey, no problem. There's a call tonight at 9 o'clock. Why don't I call you a couple of minutes before the call and we'll listen to it together? Would that work? You know why I do that? They can't get away, right? If I call them and I 3-way them onto the call, I know that they've listened to the call. Then we can talk after the call. Hey, what did you think about that call? Dynamite. Yeah, the testimonials are outrageous, right? So I don't have to ask them whether or not they listened to the call. I already know that they listened to the call. It's kind of like, in the old days, we used to invite people to meetings. I used to watch people all the time standing around by the door waiting for their guests to show up, right? I said, hey guys, you're doing this all wrong. Go pick them up, bring them to the meeting, and they can't leave without you, right? Now we have Uber, so now I guess they can get away. But that was then. This is now. So so next time you're in front of a computer, let me show you the back office. Just go to valentis.com, click on the sign in, and then put in your email address, and you'll get into the back office. I just want them to get familiar with the things that are going on. And this is where you can get started. This is where and I go through and show them where they can see everything and look at the genealogy and show, where how to get started, how to click on join now, and so on and so on. Your job, right, is to keep everybody, your friends, your prospects in the loop through a series of phone calls, emails, and three-way introductions. Don't forget our call tonight at 9 o'clock. I'll call you, right? I want you to take a look at our Facebook page, all kinds of testimonials. I love to send them over to that page, right? And if you're interested in making money, I want you to meet Chuck Hansen. I want you to meet the guys that I work with, right? Not my upline, not my crossline, not my downline. I want you to work with the team of people that I work with. I've been in the home-based, he's been in the home-based business arena for 30 years, and he's made millions of dollars helping other people make millions. Here's his YouTube channel, go there, blah, blah, blah. Take a look at everything and make sure that you watch this video or that video or whatever. And, we're just trying to take that brand new person and trying to make them feel part of the whole organization. It's much easier, right? It's kind of taking baby steps with people. The play, this is what Rick started to put together today, right? Envelope, cover letter, the samples, whether it's 2 samples, 5 samples, you decide, it's your samples. I'm going for 5, right? So that way, I've got at least, I'm going for 10 samples in there so that we give them 5 days. That's an error. So 10 samples, 5 days, 2 cups for 5 days. They're going to get some results. They're going to lose some weight over that period of time if they do things correctly, right? And then you're going to have an email, right? Your initial email. Then you're going to have an email campaign that you're going to, constantly and continuously send to everybody. And what we're doing, folks, is we're teaching people to teach, right? You don't want to continue doing this forever. I don't want to continue doing this forever. I want other diamonds, triple diamonds, blue diamonds to come up in my organization and be doing all of these things so that I can sit on the beach somewhere and enjoy my golden years, right? So, and I know you do too. So, you never have a second chance to make a good first impression. So, that's important, how the package arrives. Take your contact down the process, right? This is a process. It's a conversation between friends, right? You're playing a contact sport. So how many people are you going to talk to about Valentis, about Slim Roast? What are your results? About taking a free tour. All of these things matter, right? So sorting, not selling, it's an attitude, right? You've discovered something amazing. Hey, the rest of the world, trust me, doesn't know about this product. It's not on QVC. It's not on the Home Shopping Network. The only way you can get it is through us, through me, through you, right? So we're the conduit to getting not only slimmer, but perhaps a lot richer if you participate. So, we've got some. So share it with everybody. Don't prejudge people. You're going to hear me talking about that a lot. I see people making mistakes all the time about, not wanting to call XYZ person because, well, they make too much money or one thing or another. Excuses, excuses, excuses. They got the same challenges that all of us have, right? If they have made money, maybe they've lost it all. If they've made money, maybe they'd like to make some more. And people that have made a lot of money can do a lot of good for other people by mentoring them in a business like this where they can't do it in the business where they've made all kinds of money for the most part. And you've got to understand that this is a process that you're going to take people through. So, you just can't ever give up. It's not going to be easy, but it's not going to be that difficult either. So people are busy. They don't want to be sold, right? Ask questions, gather intelligence. And, if you could change your coffee and lose weight, would you, right? Just little conversation starters, think about it. It's a process, not an event. So keep track of your progress. Invite, invite, invite. I can't even tell you, that you just have to invite everybody, and you have to invite them all the time. I found a great way to make money. Are you interested? Just any little, little buzzwords, right? So that's it. You guys are going to hear this over and over and over again. So I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me. And yes, that is my scale. My scale has never seen that number in its entire existence. While it's been a young scale, it never saw that number. And now that it's an older scale, it's now seeing a number that it's never seen before. So I'm excited. And what happened, I got stuck kind of at, 182, 183. I was bouncing right there. And Dave said, hey, take the breakthrough, take the morning and evening breakthrough product, and, that'll help your system. And certainly I did. And bam, I went immediately. I started, started losing weight again. Now my wife is really to the point where she says, you've lost too much weight. You're obsessed now with losing weight. So, she said, you just got to take it easy, cut down, and not lose any more weight. Well, like I said, I've not heard that in 37 years. In fact, I never heard it before we got married. So I'm fortunate that this product came into my life. So, hey guys, that's all of that. I'll stop the screen share, and we can go out. And Rick, have you got that package that you kind of put together? And
no.
Okay, cool.
They're all in the boxes right now.
Okay.
But I don't have the actual sample pack. So when I get it together, or get it, I'll, like, next week probably.
Okay.
But I could say, Chuck, is we've got a $1 million a month company right now, and it's going to go to $10 million a month. And I mean, I didn't drink the coffee the last 2 days, and today I went by 31 flavors and couldn't resist going in there and snagging a chocolate peanut butter ice cream cone. I don't do that when I'm on the coffee. And I am so impressed with this product that, I'm telling you right now, this is the best product I've worked with in 30 years. And we've got all the tools. I mean, look at this shirt. I'm going to wear this all over the place. I'm going to get brand new people, the banker, the grocery store, checkout lady. I mean, the nail salon, whoever, haircut place, Chuck. We've got the tools. And, there's another strategy too, and I'd like to talk about it another time. But it has to do what I watched. I watched a group of women take their volume from 0 to 400,000 a month in about 4 to 5 months. And we could do that with the 6 sample trial pack. Okay. And then we've got our 2 sample packs that you get with the 350 samples. So you'll have 175 sample packs that you can mail out that many people. I'm telling you right now, you don't even have to call them. If you know them, verify the address, say, I'm sending you something. I lost 20 pounds with it. It was so easy. It was ridiculous. Do you like coffee? Yeah, I drink it every day. Great. Give me your address. Mail it to them. And all those 2 samples do is they just verify that the product tastes good and that it works. And they'll get a little bit of a buzz off the first 1 or 2. And sometimes they'll even lose a pound or 2 or 3. But, I mean, we've got all the tools. If somebody doesn't have any money, that's no excuse. Tell them to pull out 10 people, line them up for 10 sample packs or 10 cans at the customer level. Have those 10 or however many buy a can, get the results, and talk about the business with them, and then line up 3 people to come in. And if you line up 3 people and you put your $4.99 in, within 1 to 2 weeks, you're going to get your money right back. So money's not really an excuse. You know, XYZ, Chuck talked about, you know, talking to people, you know. This is the kind of company where you're going to hear about it through somebody else. And if you're not out there grabbing all your cell phone contacts and everybody you know on Facebook and letting them know, they're going to tell you, oh, I heard about that last week or 2 weeks ago. Oh, I'm in. I've been in for a month. And it's going to break your heart to know that somebody you know is in the deal under somebody else. There's a sense of urgency here right now that I can't really express it. And I mean, I could stand up and scream, but I'm not going to do that on Zoom. But there's a sense of urgency. If you really want to change your life, I don't care if you're 60, 70, or 80 years old right now, you work hard for the next 3 years and you can take off for the rest of your life. I'm telling you right now, you just got to go out there and find the key people. And the last thing I'll say is this is the perfect business for the corporate business person or the person who already owns a business, who already has contacts and connections. Because, I mean, I'm trying to think, how can I get into this corporations downtown Houston where there's 1,000 people on a floor in an energy company, and all I got to do is get one woman down there losing weight on that floor, and I'll have 1,000 customers because it'll spread like wildfire. And they won't even have to be selling product. People will be wanting to buy it through the system. So they won't be peddling product on the floor. It's just going to catch fire. And that's the kind of people you want, because those people are going to get what? Emotionally attached to the product. Anyway, that's all I got to say, Chuck. I mean, we're going to the top with this. I wish people would come to the convention and spend $1,500 and do it, or whatever it costs, because it will be worth the emotion. And plus, we're going to have a blast. And on Thursday night, you're going to get to see Dave Jordan, the CEO, do all his impressions. And he does Rocky and Mick, and he does all kind of people. He'll do John Remza too, who's in the company, which is pretty funny. But it'll be a really great time. And then Saturday, I'm doing the comp plan. Chuck's going to be on there, I think, Saturday. I'm not sure which day. But we're going to have a great time. And it's about building those relationships. And I wish, you know, all of you were coming. I know that it can be difficult. You got kids and lives and bills. But it's well worth it, because the emotion that you get from being there and the belief that you build, you're going to be able to take that and run with it. And you're no longer going to be afraid after losing weight. You're not going to be afraid of talking to people. And the last thing I'd say, Chuck, you know what? You and I are here, and maybe we need to set a time up where we can get on the phone with some of your people that really want to do this. And maybe we should just get on the phone with them and call them with them. You know, at least the first 5, right? Or 6, and get that going. So I don't know if you guys could hear me or not, but anyway, okay. That's all I had to say, Chuck. Love working with your group. You got a great bunch of people, and I would love to help people work for 3 years and retire. You know, look, even if it was 7 or 5,000 a month, okay, residual, that's not going to go away. People are not going to get off this product. I got off it for 3 days, and I'm already back to craving things and eating ice cream. I got to get back on the coffee. You just can't get off it. And that is very important, that people get emotionally attached to it and then realize that they really can't be without it. So anyway, thanks, Chuck, for having me on the call. Did you just call me? Oh, okay. Goodbye.